Welcome once again, Mega Movie Goers. So Valiant, Karen, and I just wrapped up our Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice non-spoiler review. That is actually now up on our YouTube channel, and you guys can listen to it for non-spoilers, or if you just kind of want to get our general opinion on what we thought Batman v Superman, you can also check that out as well. But this right here is going to be a detailed review of Batman v Superman. We may break it down in different videos. I don't know yet, Valiant Karen, how it's going to look, but it will go into details review of Batman v Superman. We'll probably go a lot of different places, Karen, because as we talked about in the previous review, this movie was all over the place. So I think we'll just break it down scene by scene for the most part. Stuff that I made in my notes as the movie was playing, stuff that you've got that you want to say,
Right.
and we'll just take it from there. Well, like I said, Karen, there's so much going on in this movie. We'll just start with the opening scene, and we'll just kind of develop ourselves from there. Because I think we'll be talking Batman v Superman basically here all night, like I said in our last review. I think when we did the first review, there was some stuff that we had just seen the movie, and we hadn't processed it. And I think now a couple hours have gone by. We've edited we recorded the first video, edited it real quick, threw it together, and it's online. But it's been a couple hours since we saw the movie now. It's been roughly a couple hours since we saw it. It's not just a raw reaction, so I think, we got more to say now and more to do. So I'm going to just jump in here and start with Ben Affleck. Coming in, and Ben Affleck got a lot of criticism about being cast as Batman. I never kind of understood that, but it is what it is. It's in the past now, because the present is that he did a great job, and he's one of the best parts of this movie.
He proved everybody wrong. He proved the critics wrong. He proved the fans wrong, and he put basically, let's say, the trolls in their place.
Good point. He did put the trolls in their place, and like I said, never got what all the hate was over Ben Affleck. He's
He's an amazing actor, director.
Oscar winner,
Yes.
and very talented guy. And I think DC Entertainment and Warner Brothers is lucky that he's in their court, and I think they're lucky that they've found their Batman and they've got their Batman. So having said that, right away from the opening scenes, for the most part, they center around Bruce Wayne. They center around the Batman. It shows a quick recap of Batman's family being killed, of Bruce Wayne's family being killed. And I thought that was kind of cool, although I don't think it was needed, because we all kind of know, for the most part, I think, Batman's origin. So I don't know, did we need it or not, but it was kind of nice that they kept jumping back to that. And I think now that I'm thinking about it, it is important because, like I said in our previous review, Bruce Wayne in this movie shows a lot of rage. More rage than we've seen in any of the other Batman films, including the Christopher Nolan ones. So I think it's good that you had that source reference right there of that's where he's coming from. That's what he's been raging against for 20 years. And I think Ben Affleck does a good job of showing a character who's kind of exhausted, kind of tired, because this is obviously an older Batman. But the opening scenes are when he's driving that Jeep Wrangler, whatever it was, that new Jeep. What do they call it? Product placement.
Right.
It was obviously product placement, but it was an awesome scene, and it did drive me in. And I thought, okay, this movie's going to be an adrenaline rush with some real thoughtful moments in between. But anyways, the opening scenes, I really, really liked it, and I really liked the fact that it showed that Bruce Wayne is definitely doesn't want to lose anybody else in his life, whether if it's a parent, whether if it's or even a worker in his company.
Yeah, the security guard.
Exactly, which is a big thing. So obviously, that's what essentially the Bruce Wayne Batman character wakes up in the morning thinking, and goes to bed thinking at night, is I do not want to lose anybody else, no one else to to early deaths. So I think they did a good job of setting that up. So Valiant Karen, it's up to you. We can stay on Batfleck. We can keep talking about the opening scene. The floor is yours. You want to go to the next thing? It's up to you. The next thing I got is, I think the next scene that opened up was Clark and Lois.
Yeah, I mean, the one more thing that I'll mention about Ben Affleck was, yes, he did bring a different approach to this Batman, and I loved it. I know you loved it too. And it's safe to say now that Ben Affleck, to me, to be honest with you, I think he's the best Batman there is. I mean, I still love Christian Bale. I still love Michael Keaton and also to some extent Val Kilmer, but Ben Affleck just nailed it. And, I'm going to have to say too, that was also probably with the approach of Zack Snyder's directing to help him, to be the best he could be in that role. And he did. So I just can't wait now until we finally get our solo Batman movie.
The next scene, Karen, that picks up, or that at least in my notes, is when Lois is in the desert and she's trying to infiltrate that mercenary ring, or she's doing that undercover reporting. I don't want to say mercenary, but I guess more of terrorist ring. Terrorist ring that were betrayed by, mercenaries, I guess that's the way to put it. And Superman comes and saves her. That was pretty cool. I think I like the fact that since the very beginning of Man of Steel, since the very beginning of the Zack Snyder takeover here of these characters, specifically Superman, he's pulled no punches in putting Lois and Clark together. And I love that because they're Lois and Clark, they're supposed to be together, and I think it's much funner or much more interesting to see Lois and Clark have to basically battle for their love and hold on to each other. Clark because he loves her and he's Superman and he's trying to protect her, and Lois because she's who she is and she's feisty and she also loves him. And it's funny because it seems to me like no man could ever tame Lois Lane. So it actually takes a Superman to tame Lois Lane, and not tame her in a bad way, but I think he's the only one that could possibly ever capture her attention. He can be her. He can be, her, not just her white knight, but he also needs her. And I think they show that she, also fights for him. And that plays out in the movie several times where Lois is heavily involved in it. And Amy Adams does a great job, in my opinion, in this movie. We've talked about that before. She should get some credit because she really does do a good job of making the Superman character, adding to him as a whole, and also adding to the movie as a whole. And one of the bright spots of the movie in a spotty production. One thing I also do want to say is I like the fact that they went somewhere with Lois, and Clark, is they made him sexy. They made them both sexy in the sense that Lois is in the tub,
The bathtub.
and it shows her femininity, but it also shows a strength and a vulnerability all in one. And I think Amy Adams does a great job of playing that. They should have gone there more and more often and played up the passion more that does exist between Clark and Lois in this movie. And also too, they showed some good elements of Clark, where Clark is sitting there and he's pulling no punches and he wants to be with Lois and he loves Lois. And they showed a scene where Henry Cavill's got his shirt off and he looked great and he looks good, and I got a man crush on him, and stuff like that. The way he looked, he also looked sexy. So I really wish they would have done more of that during the movie, where they're not forcing anything.
Exactly.
It's not tacky. It's very tasteful, but it's still sexy.
Yeah, that's the one thing I really liked about this couple is we don't feel this relationship is forced. To be honest with you, I hope she is in like other movies like the Justice League Part 1, or give her a little bit of like a cameo or something, because she was brilliant in this movie. And what I did like about Amy Adams, we know that she's going to be a future Oscar winner. She's already been nominated for an Oscar, so for sure she'll win one. And this movie goes to show you how strong her acting really is. And what I'm happy about about this movie also is that, she knows that, Clark Kent is Superman. And I thought that that was cool that they decided to put that in, because we know in the past, Lois Lane.
It gets silly.
Yeah.
It gets silly. There's the infamous super kiss in Superman 2 where Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent kisses Lois Lane as Margaret Kidder. She just kind of forgets that she knows he's Superman, and that is silly, obviously.
Yeah, because when you think about it, it's kind of hard to like not put two and two together, especially that she's a reporter, you know?
Well, because she has face-to-face interactions with them. It's very so. That was a controversy in Man of Steel, but it's a controversy that it's ironed itself out. It's worked itself out.
Exactly. Yep. That they played the ball really well with that.
Right at the time, controversial, but now, looking back on it, tough decision then, but it's played out really well. It's paid off.
Yeah, it really tests their relationship like no other relationship in the superhero movies.
Exactly, and I like that. I like it when we take an everyday relationship, having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend, and making it complicated. That is it. I talk about this all the time, a hyperbole. That's what superheroes are, a hyperbole of everyday problems being blown up into my boyfriend Superman, and it complicates our relationship.